Hey there again, folks. Welcome back to Remember11, the Age of Infinity. And we have a very special guest. Here. Come here and show the... Okay. She don't want to. She don't want to see you guys. You can probably see her a little bit there. Yeah, you can see her. It's like 4 in the morning and she was squalling out in the hallway. Woke my mom up like a no good pest. So she's your problem now. You guys' problem now. And go home with them folks, kitty cat. She's not interested. Yeah, I brought it back on this screen because this is a different screen than normal. I think. You guys can let me know if it's different, especially if you know Daniel. Or is this the first screen that you saw? Because I remember it was different at one point, and then when you ended did Kokoro's route, it changed to kind of the overhead of Spia. Because I just did the load thing, and it went back to boom. That's the right one, right? That's the one it was. But I think it's the one that was always loading before. So, I don't know if anything changed or not. Anyway, sound of the waves played a gentle lullaby. Kokoro took a deep breath at the fresh winter air as though refreshing herself. Her hair blew in the wind. Pushing it back with one hand, she began to walk around and around, drawing a spiral in the sand with her footprints. Oh yeah, by the way, that whole thing in the last episode where I was like, whoa, wristwatch, what? Yeah. No, not that important. After thinking about it for a while, especially after Daniel reminded me, yeah, he always did have a wristwatch if he went by. So yeah, that was silly of me. Just remembered how he always hated the wristwatch whenever he went back to the shelter cabin. She was so close that our shoulders were almost touching. Started to move a little closer. Felt like our arms could entwine. I nonchalantly stepped a little to the side. Still staring at her feet, she closed the distance between us again. There was nowhere to run, because I was the one walking at the water's edge. Suddenly, a remarkably tall, white wave broke over the beach. Amelia kicked off the sand and avoided it. When I turned to look, her boots had been immersed up to the ankles in seawater. Such a carefree scene in front of this ordinary scenario. I unconsciously broke out into a smile. She ran over to me, sending up a spray of cold water as she came. Sure enough, she grabbed onto my arm. She twined herself around it. It'd be impossible to shake her off. Without saying a word, I started walking again. She put on an innocent smile. I shook my head amazed. I looked up and saw the serene blue sky high overhead. The gentle sunlight, the sound of the waves, and Kokoro's warmth on my arm. With a shadow of Spia far in the distance, it felt like I could forget everything about the transference phenomenon if I wanted to. Eventually. It's quite a thing to go through, so that is something you'd forget real quick. She called out to them much more loudly than necessary. How she works. Kokoro ran over to them, waving her hands wildly, leaving me behind on the beach. I remember what Kokoro had said to me. My muttering floated along the sea breeze and disappeared. Kokoro is now in the midst of a light-hearted chat with Yomogi and Itsumi. A little way from where they stood, Lin and Hattori were visible as well. They were standing side by side, facing out to sea, quietly talking about something. Lin and Hattori shouldn't be acquainted with one another. What could they be talking about? I couldn't make out anything they were saying from here. By the way, where's Yuni? I scanned the coastline, but I couldn't see him anywhere. Right at that moment, someone tapped me on the shoulder. I turned around and see him standing right in front of me. As if he'd been waiting for me. He had a self-satisfied grin on his face. I kept silence. This Yuni was the Yuni of 2012. The Yuni that knew everything. I opened my mouth, feeling as if I'd surrendered to doing things at his pace the moment I did. He was so much shorter than me, there could be no comparison. But somehow I felt like he was the one looking down at me. It was kind of aggravating. Sure.
じゃあ教えてあげよう。僕はね、ただ過去を変えたくなかっただけなんだ。過去っていうか未来っていうか、とにかく2011年に赤倉岳で起きた出来事をその通りに繰り返したかっただけなんだよ。
つまり歴史を変えたくなかった。
そのために今日まで頑張ってきたんだ。ただそれだけのために僕はこの1年間を費やしてきた。時空間転移のことを勉強したり、いろんな準備をしたりして、今日この日が訪れることを、この瞬間をひたすら待ち続けてきた。僕が転移現象のことを熟知してるのはだからなんだ。
なるほど。じゃあお前が1年前の赤倉岳に戻ったのも歴史をなぞるためだったんだな。
そう。2011年の避難小屋には僕という存在が必要不可欠だった。それにね、そもそも僕が1年前の赤倉岳に戻らなかったら、セイジやトビリンを避難小屋に誘導する人がいなくなっちゃうでしょ。そしたら2人は墜落直後の吹雪の中で遭難しちゃってたことになる。
Pretty responsible kid there.
僕が行かなければ2人は1月11日の時点で
They would have died. Naturally, Coco would have met the same fate.
そうか。まず最初の発端は彼らを救うことにあったってわ
け。Now that that's been said, it was hard to condemn all of his actions outright. My mental state became even more complex. Oh man. Satru's mental state becoming complex. More complex? What can handle that?
彼らを救うために果敢にも時間跳躍という危険な現象に挑んでいったお前の勇気だけは素直だが、その後の行動が腑に落ちない。なぜ歴史をなぞる必要があった？ヨモギさんたちを避難小屋に導いた時点でお前の目的は完遂されたわけではなかったのか？
全くね。それは単なる始まりに過ぎなかったんだよ。なぜ歴史をなぞる必要があったのか。今 そう言ったよね。その理由を一言で言うと、時空間転移を発生させるためってことになる。
時空間転移？
それが起きなければ聖司たちを助けることができなくなるでしょ。だから
待ってくれ。もっと詳しく説明してくれないか。
まず2011年の1月17日に赤倉岳に救助隊が来てくれたのは
天候が回復したからだろ。
もちろん天気のこともあるけど、それだけじゃないよ。ある時まで政府の対策本部は18便の墜落地点を特定できてなかったんだ。その場所が判明したのは1本の電話がかかってきたから。僕らが避難小屋でかけた衛星電話、もしもそれが繋がらなかったら17日の段階で墜落機の残骸が見つかることはなかっただろうし、当然そのことが報道されることもなかったと思う。で、ここが重要なんだけど、僕らがかけた衛星電話はね、偶然繋がっただけだったんだ。わかる？偶然って意味。偶然起きた現象っていうのはさ、そっくりそのまま歴史を繰り返してやらなければ絶対に再現しえないものなんだよね。
それで避難小屋の歴史を守ろうとしたわけ。偶然を再現するために17日に救助隊が到着するように。
そういうこと。
でもその理由はどうして救助隊が到着するのが17日じゃなければならなかったんだ。
その日のうちに18便が発見されたという報道がなされなければならなかった。
なぜ？
教えてほしい。
ひどいぞ。
分かった。だけどその代わり覚悟してよね。
覚悟？
だってここから先は悟に関係があることだから。
俺に？
そうだよ。17日の報道がなければね、悟は日本にはいなかったはずなんだ。
どういうことだ？
多分覚えてないと思うけど、悟は2011年の1月18日にオーストラリアに出発する予定だったんだ。
I don't remember nothing like that. What?
滞在するつもりだったんだけどね。
How the crap was Sutter going to Australia?
チケット部屋で見つけなかった。
見つけた。だけどなんで俺は墜落事故の報道を見てオーストラリア行きを思いとどまったの？そもそもそれとこれとどういう関係がある？俺が日本にとどまっていなければ何か不都合が生じたとでも？
生じすぎるほど生じただろうね。まず悟が2012年に青崎島にいなければ歴史が繰り返すことがなかったっていうのが一つ。あとは自分で考えてる。
は？
だってこれは悟自身のことなんだよ。僕がとやかく言うようなことじゃないってば。
待て、自分で考えても思い出せないからお前に聞いてるんじゃないか。
とにかくこれ以上僕の口からは何も。
ふざけんなよ。
Great.
そんな自分勝手なことが許されるとでも思ってんのか？他にも質問したいことは山ほどあるんだぞ。
例えば
そうだな。
Wait, we're getting options this late in the game? What? I'm actually pretty curious about to hear about this. Although guys, his alarm clock being 33 minutes fast is pretty good too, but we're gonna have to
プラバ
hear
イト
about
リス
this.
トに書かれていた内容とは何だったんだ。ずっと気になってたのに聞きそびれちまってたからな。
知りたい？
だからくどいって。
Hey, what was that stuff on the chair about this? You wanna know? What the crap do you think I just asked you for? Don't make me Homer. Don't make me Homer Simpson to your Bart Simpson, okay?
どうしようかな。教えてあげてもいいんだけ
だったら早く言えよ。
Good.
ど、サトル、あのディスクが今どこにあるのかわかる？
No.
今はスフィアにはないんだ。
じゃあどこに？
1年前の赤クラだ。多分あっちのユニが持ってる。ポケットに入れたままだとしたらの話だ。
正解。それじゃあその後テラバイトディスクはどこに行ったと思う？
それから1年の時を経て今はお前も？
僕は持ってないよ。元の場所に戻ったんだ。始まりの地点。2012年1月11日のスフィア。あとは言わなくてもわかるでしょ。
つまりあのディスクは2011年と2012年の間をぐるぐるぐるぐると巡ってるってわけだ。
歴史は繰り返される。いつまでも変わることなく永遠に。
今なんと？
もう一度言おうか。
いや、いい。歴史は変わらない。そう言ったんだよな。
そうだね。
お前言ってることは矛盾してないか？さっきは歴史を変えないようにするのにあれやこれやとやってきたみたいなことを言ってたじゃないか。
まあ確かにそうだよ。そうではあるけど、でも結果的には歴史は変わらなかったわけで。
は？何言ってんだお前。
I have no clue what
ま
he's
るっ
trying
き
to
り変わっ
say.
たじゃないか。まさかあいつらの姿が見えないわけじゃないだろう。よもぎさんをはじめとして雪崩に巻き込まれて命を失った者は誰もいない。過去が塗り替えられたからだ。違うか？
違うとも言えるし違わないとも言える。
Who is this kid? Obi freaking Wan Kenobi? Yes, Vader killed your father. He was a man of evil.
例えばあくまでも例えばの話だろ。最初っから雪崩に巻き込まれて死んだ人なんて存在しなかったとしたら。
お前それはそもそも家庭が理不尽ってもんだろ。雪崩は確かに起きたし去年の7月にはフラン死体も発見されてる。新聞にもそう書いてあったじゃないか。
だけどその新聞がもしも何者かによる捏造だったとしたら。
え？
誰かが偽物の新聞を作ったとは考えられない？
だからありえない。だって雑誌にも記事が載ってたんだぞ。それまで作り物だと。
可能性としてはなくはないと思う。
じゃあ内海さんのことはどうなる？彼女は過去のよもぎさんが雪崩に飲まれて死んだことを知っていた。
なるほど、確かにそうだね。だったら歴史は変わるのかもね。
おいおい、あっさり前言を翻すようなこと言うなよ。結局どっちなんだ？お前は全て経験してきたはずだろ。お前の知ってる歴史の中では何が起こったんだ？3人が雪崩に巻き込まれて死んでしまったのか、それとも前の歴史の中でも俺は今回と同じようにどっちだ？
Oops.
どうしようかな。
He talked quietly for a while before he finally
去
said
年の
this.
1月17日、僕が赤倉岳で体験した過去、それはね。
Don't you do it. Don't you do it, East. Don't you do it. You know, Yuni's a bit of a little snot there. Or just... no, I'm just joking. He seems wise for his age, but I guess he is still a bit of a trickster and a punk. Stood by Tsumi's side and gazed down at the two small lives. Those tiny new lives. The two babies were being held up against their mother's breast. and it looks like Yomogi is picking his nose. I know that they do that. A lot of folks, rub their nose when they're kind of embarrassed or something like that. So I bet that's what it is. Hayzumi's just back there like. Looking at their pure innocent smiles, I felt a faint sensation of warmth in my chest. The baby's father was there by their side as well. He wore a gentle smile as he stood with his hand on his wife's shoulder. By the looks of things, he'd already accepted the fact that this was the future. His children had born and existed right here, so there was no other choice but to believe it. Satoru, who had been talking with Yuni until just now, was also here by my side. We gazed at the babies without saying a word. I was only looking at them, but for some reason it made me feel extremely happy. My cheeks lifted in a natural smile. By the way, where were the other three? Looking up, I saw Hattori and Yuni a little way off. Yuni was crouching down in the snow, working on a snowman. Hattori squatted next to him, staring at it absentmindedly. She was wearing a strange smile that I'd never seen on her face before. Izumi was standing apart from everyone else. Might have been my imagination, but it felt like she was unintentionally avoiding someone. Like you? Who was that someone? Izumi's eyes focused on Satoru. Furrowing her brow in suspicion, she stared at Satoru in profile. Oh wait! If they don't quit switching between people. Wait, are they switching? Did they switch between people? I think they did. Wait, oh. Okay, yeah. They switched back to Kokoro. Dang it, why that confused me. I was like, what? Looked up to see the sun, which had already begun to sunk in the west. The coast was so warm I could hardly think of it as January weather. Yeah, I was actually wondering about Mayuzumi, her response to Satoru suddenly. Especially considering the fact that she was so adamant about the transference phenomenon not being real. I left Yuni's side and went straight to Izumi. Izumi was holding her twin babies against her chest. They were fraternal twins, a boy and a girl. I joined Kokoro. Okay, this is Satoru again, and together we gently poked their soft cheeks with our fingertips. That softness suffused me with a sense of warmth that melted all the way to my heart. Two babies kicked their feet energetically. It looked like they were inventing a cute new dance. Most likely they just wanted to play. They might have opened their eyes to dream while floating in the amniotic fluid. Spent a few moments innocently playing, trying only to amuse themselves. Innocently, purely, artlessly. With brand new pure hearts, free of ill will, holding no malice, and totally without conscience, the babies laughed. Then that Kokoro smiled as well. In my heart were recurring feelings of both affection and uncertainty. The instant I touched these new lives, I learned to deny the endless circle of life and death. Okay. More remember. These scenes are seeming really short. The last two scenes there were really short. Got the feeling I missed that they should be longer. Well, if you're from a Seinfeld episode, there's one baby that's probably not so cute. Satoru and I were walking along the coast, away from Izumi and the others. Another one-word answer. I got a little sulky.
本当にサトルって愛想悪いよね。
そうか？
なんでそんなに冷たくするの？
It's freaking January.
別に冷たくしてるわけじゃないさ。
そうかな。そうは見えないんだけどな。ああ、私も赤ちゃん欲しいな。
どんなに頑張っても一人じゃできないけどな。
そうね。じゃあサトル、手伝ってくれる？
お前そんなことを言うためにわざわざ俺をこんなところに連れてきたわけじゃないよな。
違うよ。
じゃあどうして？
ちょっとね、気になったことがあったから。
なんだ？
ほとりちゃんのことなんだけど。
ああそうか。そういえばまだ心には教えてなかったよな。お前避難小屋の近くで雪にうずもれた女の子の死体見たことないか？
ある。
実はな、それが本物のほとりの姿だったんだよ。
どういうこと？
He began to explain. While poring over the vast archive of video records, Satoru had realized that the Hattori he interacted with was completely different from the one I knew. He said the consciousnesses residing in her were clearly different. The most striking disparity could be seen during Inamoto's murder. The Hattori who asked Satoru to stab or to be stabbed, which one do you prefer? And the Hattori who was terrified at the sight of her own blood-stained body. Satoru had no doubt it was the result of two different personalities being in control of the same body. And there was one more. The Hattori who rammed into Inamoto was innocently playing in the pool of blood. That seemed to be a different personality from the others, according to Satoru. Finally, Satoru said,
おそらくほとりもまた俺や心や第三の人格と同じように転移現象に巻き込まれ続けていたのだと思う。最終的には犬伏恵子の体に落ち着くことになったわけだが。
じゃあ犬伏本人の意識は
1年前の赤倉岳にある雪にうずもれた死体の中に。
なるほどね。
But even though I said that, the explanation didn't satisfy me. Something's off. It's strange. Why is the one at Mount Akakura Inabushi and the one at Aosagi Island Hattori? Each consciousness was always tied to a specific area. If that's the case, the Hattori I know is currently... Before I could think, I was up and running.
心どこ行くんだよ。
I heard his voice from behind me, but I didn't have time to answer. Had to find her. I had to hear it from her myself. I rushed over to Yomogi and Itsumi. Itsumi was only holding one of the babies. Where's the other one? That bothered me, but I believed that my first priority was to find Hattori.
ほとりちゃんはどこ？
I asked.
彼女なら、ほら、あそこに。
He pointed behind me. I turned around. Shit.
かごめかごめ。
I believe we have a situation on our hands that will have to be solved next time on Remember11: The Age of Infinity. Wow. Was not expecting that. I do sincerely hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one. Farewell.